All right, we about to check out some of these videos of people who's trying to leave the United States.
Have to really leave America. I'm planning to leave in June, but do I need to leave earlier than that? Obviously as soon as possible is better, but realistically speaking, someone tell me how much time we got. The clock is ticking. How much time do I actually got to get out?
I made a list of things that are happening right now in America.
This is why I'm making it a priority to get my family out of the US. And please go watch that creator's video.
But here's the thing, though. All those people who's trying to get out of the United States, they always think that there's something better. I've been outside the United States for many years in my time in the military. And I'm telling you, there's nowhere better than the United States. Nowhere. It's great to visit in other countries, but to stay there? Nah.
What's happening in the US is really scary, and a big reason why I have so much anxiety coming back to the US from Portugal. The US is a really stressful place to live, and the direction that it's heading in is incredibly concerning. These are
Well, one could say stressful. Stressful because they haven't experienced what true stress is, right? So a lot of people talking about United States is a stressful place to live in. You got freedom if the place that you don't like, the state you don't like, you go to a different state and enjoy. You want to be somebody stay in the woods, stay in the woods. Somebody likes the city, stay in the city life. Stressful. You got opportunities.
not the morals and values I want my children to learn. I want my kids to feel safe to come to me if they are transgender. I want them to live in a country that actually cares about the earth and believes in climate change.
You see, that's the thing, though. It's like it's always about a gender and not really like things in life. Yes, they may think like, well, yes, you want your kids to be transgender and live a certain place, but there are many places in the world you go to, and those people will actually be killed. I'm not advocating for anyone's dying, but there are many places where United States you have the freedom to be who you want to be.
The fact that the state that I live in is calling for executions as punishment for abortions is insane. It's why I'm making it my mission this year to scout out different countries that meet the criteria we're looking for and to get my family out of there.
Hey, if you're seeing this, you've probably thought about moving out of the US. My name is Austin, and I'm doing that in 10 days. I'm moving from Orlando, Florida to Bali, Indonesia as my starting point and kind of going to go explore from there because there has got to be something better out there than how it's going here.
Hey guys, as an immigrant, a military member, I have been overseas numerous times, both for leisure and with combat situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no greater country than the United States. I've been in the Caribbean. That's where I actually came from. There is no greater country than the United States. Only the people who are here who keep asking and keep talking about they want to leave until they find out wherever they're going to, it's not better than the US. I guarantee you that much.
Just everything sucks. Whether it's you're trying to buy a house, you're looking for a relationship, you're trying to get health care, you're trying to even get groceries now. It's like there's got to be something more to life than this.
Yeah, when I was in Brazil, people keep talking about there's something better to life. The same system that we're fronting upon that we should go to places too. It's still there were system four with the hospital where people who were poor they still took them forever to get into that system. And if you were rich, right, there was a different hospital where the rich people went to. So this whole thing people keep advocating for going overseas. It was the same thing when I was in Italy. Europe is the same thing. It's a whole waiting period. Those people who keep saying that somewhere is better, you just haven't been there yet.
So I see a ton of travel videos of people claiming to explain how to move there, but no one ever does. It's really annoying. Like you're just going for a 2-week holiday, 3-week holiday, like whatever. That's like
Because it's difficult to live there. When I lived there during my time in the embassy, it was even difficult for me to get different permits, licenses, and stuff like that when we were diplomats. Imagine if you were just a pure civilian trying to make a living in there and you are not a citizen of that country. I'm telling you, it's not an easy task where everybody just saying you could just move certain places and make it happen, especially if you don't have money.
Good for you. That's awesome. But there's people out there who genuinely want to leave but don't know where to start. And I'm one of those people. So I got a plane ticket one way. I'm going to go figure it out. And if you're interested in being part of the journey, give me a follow.
If you can leave the US, then more power to you. A lot of people are going to make you feel bad. I'm not. Do what you want. I probably don't know you. You probably couldn't help me. I may decide to leave myself if I can. But one thing I want to make very clear to everyone is that you are not leaving America to go and find a utopia. Leaving America just means you're swapping one set of problems for another. Western problems tend to trickle into other areas eventually. So at this point,
Well, I beg to differ. United States is the utopia. Well, there may be things in every country that you may not like, especially in the United States. Maybe things people don't like. But guess what? You have different states you could go to actually meet the same ideals and the people and the perspective that you have. In some other countries, you don't have that.
you might just be escaping time, but time catches up to you. And that's not me telling you don't leave. That's not me telling you leaving is a waste of time. I'm just trying to make clear that leaving America does not mean you are safe and free from our problems. You are simply trading this set of problems for that.
I'm setting off the alarms. I don't even care. Go and get your visas. Plan right now. If you're not following international news channels, you need to start. I have friends in other countries, so that's why I was following them. Guys, Australia, they literally questioned him. They said, what do you think about AUKUS? It's the Australia-UK-US alliance. And Trump seemed like he didn't fucking know what they were talking about. He doesn't know anything. And he's already been in office once. Europe seems to be building an alliance, preparing to be against the US, as they should. And for some reason, the people that we have in office think it's funny to go and bully world leaders that are having their country torn to shreds.
Well, you could say bully. United States is a superpower. No one comes close to us. Like I said, my time in the military, there's no better military in the world than the United States. So it's not an idea of bullying. Europe doesn't have a defense department, really. They took all of their money pretty much and focused it on different things as far as social and economic type things, where the United States is the only one paying for their defense through NATO. So you look at all those things like, you look at France and all Britons once were great countries as far as defensively with their military. Now it's all about the United States. We're the superpower. And if you're United States and you don't like that, there is something wrong with you.
Go get your visas, because we don't know if we're going to be accepted anymore soon, to be completely blunt with you. Oh, and if you missed it, Norway just came out and said that they're not fueling any ships from the USA. So that's why all of this combined, that's why I'm sounding the alarm.
Let's talk about leaving the United States. I'm happy to share my literal exodus plan, but also just on a moral and ethical level, let's have a discussion. Because I remember in 2016, this was a conversation we were having where we were wondering, should we leave? And a lot of people decided, no, I'm going to stay and I'm going to fight. And a lot of people stayed. I stayed and I got...
I wonder why you stayed. You stayed not because you couldn't leave. You could have left. You stayed because your life is better in the United States than it will be anywhere else in the world. Anywhere else in the world. That's why they stayed.
A law degree, and I worked in nonprofit, and I started a content creation business where I talk day in and day out about these issues and provide like tangible solutions and things that people can be doing. And, it's not groundbreaking work, but I feel like day in and day out, what I'm doing matters. And yet, it hasn't done anything. It didn't change anything. And I'm at a point where I'm personally ready to throw in the towel. And I want to know what...
Again, I call cap on that. 2016, it's now 2025, 26, and she still haven't left yet. She is not living, right? She is not living. They're not living.
What people's thoughts are about that. I think there's a lot of people who think that are ready to leave. It's a really privileged position to take. I fully acknowledge that most people don't have the means to leave. But the United States no longer represents me, who I want to be, the life I want to lead, the society I want to live in. And I have the opportunity to get out. So I'm planning on taking it. You can have all the opinions you want about that, but I want to hear what they are. I think it's a conversation we should be having because I know I'm not alone in this, and there are a lot of people who are thinking about or planning on leaving.
So we are moving to Mexico and we are leaving tomorrow. My husband left Tuesday and he is finally in Mexico, crossed the border just fine. Actually, it took like 8 hours, so I don't even know if I could talk about all that. But everybody's asking me why we're moving to Mexico, so I wanted to give you a little story. So my husband, his whole family is from Mexico. He's got...
Again, they have people who are established already. That is different if they have family members. A lot of people who don't have any family members try to move to a country where you need to get a job to survive. You can't just go to a different country. Well, that's what I'm saying. If you go for tourism for a week, 2 weeks, probably a month, you have some money from the States that you could actually spend there. But when your money runs out, what were you going to do? You're not a citizen of that country. It's going to be pretty hard to get a job and to earn a living. I think that's one of the things most people don't take into consideration when they're trying to move to other countries.
2 kids there. He hasn't seen his family or 2 kids in over 12 years. One of his sons is 20 and the other is 15. And when I first met my husband, he was like, listen, you can have half of my heart, but the other half is to my kids. And I'm like, I've got my kids too. And I'm like, you know what? I totally respect you for that. And I love you for that. He's the best dad in the world. And while we have created our family and we've had a wonderful life here in the United States, I felt like he was never completely happy because he was missing half of his heart. And the type of dad that he is to our kids now, and even to my kids, I know that even though he's, happy, he's never fully happy because how can you be without your kids when you're the best dad in the world? So yes, we want to go because we want our family to be whole. We want all of our kids to be together, and honestly, we want to live a calmer and slower life. We literally have built businesses here. We've busted our butts. I've had an amazing career in the financial industry world, and we work.
But if you take from what she just said, she built a business in the United States. So all that financial gain that she had, she built up that wealth. Then she could take it to somewhere else and be, quote unquote, have a leisure life. It's not going to build that somewhere else. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of those people, they make it seem like a very convenient thing for everybody else to try to go overseas, right? And try to live a life. But they don't want, they're starting from a place where they have opportunities.
And then we get a couple of hours at night at home with our kids. And then the weekends are spent running to games or doing this or doing that. And then Sundays cleaning and laundry and all the things. And you just get tired of it. And life goes so fast. It's like, why not enjoy it if you can? So we've spent the last 4 years preparing to move, making sure my online businesses are functioning. And
again, last 4 years preparing with online businesses so that she is trying to get passive income, making it in a way that she could have wealth while she's overseas, right? Or wherever that she's going to, that she has that income flow still coming in. So I guess we try to do it that way. Yeah, it makes sense. But if you're just trying to move to another country just because, I think this is crazy. Kind of like just the same video is just talking about that. All of those people leaving. Now you have people, United States people in all the different countries, asking for refuge and asylum because what they thought that they were getting into overseas is no longer there. The idea just remains, I'm very perplexed into people believing that they could live a better life outside of the United States than inside of the United States, where some of them left their own homes, right? Could you imagine living in your own house, your home, family members, just to be in the street or in some ran down homes, asylum tent with other people? We just had a No Kings protest just recently where everybody's saying Donald Trump is a king. And I think the irony is too, the same places they just went to had a king. And it's like, what are we thinking? Again, United States is the best country on earth. My family left the Caribbean to be here. I have been in the military for 20 years. I've been to different countries, and I have not seen one country that I would rather stay. I mean, I love visiting other country because there's cool stuff to do, but to actually live there, nah. United States is the best country on earth. All right, guys, please like, comment, and share the veterans' perspective.